have a lot of crop buildup underneath here. A lot of the heads we've already updated, especially in the Brookings area and stuff. We've updated a lot of those. If we are experiencing where it's building up here, we can lighten up the ends. It happens on both ends. There is this spring we can add here on this cylinder down here.
Spent a lot of time on the phone.
And we have to change out the cylinder to allow this spring to be in there. So a lot of the times is, you know, if you're experiencing a lot of dragging here, it's best to get a hold of your service department and we can get these ordered and get them installed on your head and stuff. So that way it allows this thing to float better on the ends and stuff. Beans were here. There's a gearbox here. You want to check your oil. Same thing at the other end. Check your oils on those gearboxes. Double check your sensors. Make sure those are all still connected. Linkages. The other thing too is make sure your wiring up in here. Make sure all that's still good yet too. A lot of the times you get mice in these heads and they love to eat the wires. So the best thing to do is get your heads out early, get them calibrated, and make sure everything's good to go on that part of it. We'll come around to the front here. Side of it, matter of just going through and double checking all your guards, make sure none of your guards are broke. Check your sickle sections, make sure they're still sharp. If you're having issues trying to figure out should I replace them or not, get a new sickle section and stick it on top of there and see how much the teeth are wore. They're wore quite a bit, so that's to replace the whole sickle sections in there, or just new guards if you need, or the teeth anyways. The other thing is you want to check your hold downs. Make sure you have about a business card width between your hold down and your sickle section. If not, there's an adjusting screw here on top. You can screw that down to get it tighter to the head. And,
you don't have to loosen the guard to adjust it?
Well, you have to do a little bit. You'd have to loosen the 2 bolts on top.
Otherwise it won't.
Right, it won't tip it. On your reel a little bit, these bushings up here, they do wear, like this one here, you can tell it's getting more. This one can go a little bit longer, but they will have to be replaced and stuff. So, the other thing is, like this one, the teeth, this one's here is pretty long, but down here they got snipped off. The reel wasn't set properly to the cutter bar, so it snipped them off. So you want to always double check that, make sure if you ever have to adjust your reel that you're not getting it too close to your cutter bar. Usually the best thing I like to use is a 4x4 stick underneath here and see how well it touches there and stuff. And you want to make sure you have your head all the way down on the ground to do that and stuff. So what happens is it will flex going through the field and it'll come up and then stick your fingers off. And with the draper head, you don't need to have your reel all the way down. Basically you just need enough to touch the top of the beanstalk just to lay it down on the draper. So you don't need it all the way down here to get it into the head and stuff like you would an auger head. So a little bit down here. Same thing with your auger heads. We got the real drive motor underneath the shield, which should be down there on our auger one. There's a sensor on the inside. Sometimes that gets dirty. So if your dial speed doesn't work, come out here, check your sensor, make sure it's not dirty or anything like that. You want to clean that off with a rag. There is a magnet on it, so it will catch any type of material that's more on there. So, and then with the bigger heads and stuff, with the split reels, you want to double check with your hoses and also your wiring. Make sure they're all staying close to this tube. If they start wandering out, these tubes will catch it and they'll actually rip it right off and stuff. So, the center belt, there's a tension setting for that. That's underneath the head, which we can't see it. There is a door that we can open up underneath here as well. You want to clean that out maybe once or twice during the season. Just depends on if you get some rain or a lot of mud going in here. You want to clean that out so that way it doesn't put too much pressure on that belt. And especially when you store it inside over the winter time. You want to clean that out. Kind of your feed drum up front. As you notice, they're steel fingers. You guys are probably used to composite fingers, which is on the auger heads. You want to just double check, make sure they're all intact. None of them are broke off. There is a shoulder that's on these, so they actually drop inside the tube itself. So you want to find that. If it is broke, you want to find that in the tube and take that out. Otherwise, it will cause some damage inside there. So take that out. And we had a question about earlier about wrapping up here on the reels. There's really nothing that we can do about it other than maybe get like those flip over reels, so that way the teeth will actually flip over. That helps quite a bit. So with that wrapping up here and stuff, so it keeps it moving. So and usually when we see a lot of wrapping is when the beans are still alive. You're trying to get going the beans that way. And then a couple days later it'll be fine because the stems are dry. And it'll actually happen the same thing on the auger heads too. We'll go around to the front side here. With the draper heads, we got belt tensions and stuff. On both ends, you're going to have the same door, same gauge down there as well. You want to make sure those are in the green area. If they're in the red, you'll have to adjust it. So there's an adjusting screw out here on the end, and you want to adjust it so that way it's within the green. It's best to take the tension off when you're storing it away for the winter time. That way it doesn't create a lip. So what happens is the roller will actually form the draper part of it, and then as you turn it, you actually see a little bit of a hump in your canvas part. So that's the reason why we're wanting you guys to detension them now. That way it prevents that, so it's a little bit easier on the canvas. So it's not like a swather. They wanted you to detension them every day. These you don't have to. They're using different materials in the canvases.
So that tensioner does both belts?
Yep, both belts. And it's down there as well. The only one that doesn't do is the center one, and that's up underneath there and stuff. So. And then we'll come down here. So the most important part when you're hooking up your head and stuff to your combine is you want to make sure your combine side and your head side, your multi-coupler is clean. If it's dirty like this, over time you're going to just destroy the seals that are in here. So you want to make sure this area is clean. So what I like to use is electrical contact cleaner and a rag and all that. Get all this dirt off of there, basically get it so clean to where you can eat off of it. That way it'll protect your seals, and also on your combine side it'll save you a lot of money trying to get that repaired. So always try to keep that clean.
If you do have one leaking like we have now, what probably is the cause of it?
If you do, it could be the dirt, either that or there is pressure that's on these valves due to the head, like if you had the reel all the way up or you had pressure on your hydroflex part of it, and you slam your multi-coupler down, it could pop these seals out. There's just so much pressure. So sometimes if you're removing these to transport field to field, always let your reel down and your reel out, so that way it takes the pressure off, and also take the pressure off your hydroflex. That way you're putting it together at a limited pressure, I guess, on that. And the other thing they did come out this year is they moved the orifices to the heads, so it's not on the combine anymore. So all the pressure is going to stay on the head versus going onto the combine. So you aren't going to have that big jerk on the reel dropping down. So if you did order a new head for this year and you have an older combine, your new head will come with a valve like this. So we will have to update your combine to get the check valves mounted on the combine, get those taken off, and we got to add a different adapter on the valve itself. So, and vice versa, if you have a new combine and you go to an older head, we would have to update your head to put that valve on too. So, and it's just going to help protect your multi-couplers as well. So.
Are those serviceable?
These here, you can push them in and you can get to the O-rings, but it takes a lot of effort to get the O-rings out, so we just replace that whole entire coupler. So that's why we recommend trying to keep those clean and stuff and taking the pressures off on there. So, are there any questions on the draper heads or even the auger heads?
So either one during transport, you want the reel down and push the head?
Yep.
All right.
I mean, that'll help with some of the pressure when you latch it down and stuff. It'd be easier on the seals because when you pull down on your multi-coupler and stuff, you can feel your head bounce. It's just got the pressure on there and stuff. Especially if you have your head hydroflex pressure too. If you were using it for a rigid head for small grain and stuff, and you latch that thing down in the next field, it's a lot of pressure there. You're 2200 or even more pressure, so you're best to let it off while you're transporting if you really want to try to save your multi-couplers.
So if you got a 14 combine and a brand new head already has it on, combine
We'd have to update the combine, so there's going to be some orifices that come out of the multi-coupler, and then we got to go into the valve stack and replace a check valve in there.
That won't affect any other piece that they have?
Then you would have to update the corn head. So like say you bought a draper head with this on, your corn head you would have to update that as well. So everything.
New with the combine,
You're right.
should be good to go.
What's that?
Corn is new. Combine's earlier than, shouldn't have to do anything.
Yeah, you'll have to update your combine.
And
then
your other
also
head.
your bean head.
And your other head. You'd have to update the bean head plus the combine.
So there's a little more added expense. Like with this valve, it's over like $132, and the combine's $65. So.
Alright, if there's no other questions, then we'll go over to the combine over there and we'll get